Hi Blues, Alex outside the Etihad. City 5, Huddersfield Town 1. That's what I'm talking about. A much more consummate performance. Looking the business, looking quite literally a class above. Credit to Huddersfield Town. They did a job in the original game. They came here tonight, they put us under pressure. They put a cat amongst the pigeons. They brought 7,000-8,000 fans, whatever it was, and made a lot of noise, and they put the work in, they put a shift in. Even at 3-1, they looked like they might do something. So they gave us a game, they asked the question of us, and the first 15, 20, 25 minutes, they made it tough for us, and we didn't react to it very well. There were one or two players who looked far too casual, even when we went 1-0 down. There were a couple of players, Gael Clichy, Leroy Sane, who were certainly putting the effort in. They were getting frustrated, but it just wasn't clicking. There were a couple of wayward passes, little bit glimpses giving the ball away, letting it roll out for throw-ins, and you're starting to think, is this same old City? Is it here we go again? And all of a sudden, you get a little bit of mark of quality from none other than Raheem Sterling, making the difference, getting himself in there, bagging another assist, puts it on a plate for Leroy Sane, who's got to tap it in. Suddenly, slice of luck, we get that penalty, we get Sergio Aguero on the end of it, and all of a sudden we're back in the lead, and from there, it was a completely different story. I think it was 9 minutes, 3 goals. You're seeing that mark of brilliance, that mark of quality, and that's what we should have had in the first round, that clinical edge. We looked a little bit more like champions. Everyone was talking about before the game, the Middlesbrough game a couple of years ago. Here, Middlesbrough flying in the Championship, off for a warm weather training in the week, looking confident, looking consummate, letting a team who are in form get the better of us. And just shows how we've grown up a little bit, and it is starting to get together. Earlier in the season when we've been complacent, we're starting to stamp that out. Shout out for little Alex Garcia, had a haircut and looked sublime today. First half he blended in, he certainly didn't look out of place, and that says a lot when you're looking at Kevin De Bruyne and Fernandinho either side of him in the middle of midfield, and he just grew into the game, and by the end of it, he was bossing it the last 10-15 minutes, and it looks like a bright one for the future, and maybe we're starting to see those EDS players creep in. Kelechi Iheanacho came off the bench, got himself a goal. For me, I would have liked to have seen him introduced at half-time, liked to see him introduced at least 20 minutes earlier, so he's getting some real football, a real chance to show what he's capable of. But it's good to see him getting on the score sheet and giving Pep Guardiola something to think about, certainly with a little bit of Champions League. You might see Aguero maybe get brought off early this weekend at Sunderland. Who knows what's going to happen. So guys, all in all, I think happy with the result. You can't really complain about a 5-1. Claudio Bravo's maybe got a little bit to ask for himself, and Willy Caballero's place in the starting lineup might not have been too much threat. That's probably the only criticism you can make. So 5-1, on to the next round, and who knows, maybe we can win the FA Cup. Have your say in the comments below. While you're there, I'm stood in the freezing cold, so you don't have to. If that's not worth a like, I don't know what is. This is BlueMoonRisingTV, and I'll see you again.